let's go over a couple things first.
Okay. Come on, just relax. I know you like she just recently feels a little bit more anxious for some reason.
You're anxious now?
Yeah.
A little. It's okay.
Yeah, a little bit anxious.
You're fine. Just relax. You can go on the couch or sit here. Or you can lay on the floor.
We're just gonna be talking. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the things I just want to clarify, what was here? You put motor issues, slightly shaking of the hands, and the movement, vestibular purpose. What is that? What is? Can you explain it to me?
So let's say when she was actually holding a bottle, it was more prominent when she was younger, right? So she would slam it like so.
Oh, she had nowhere distance.
Like she couldn't, or she's very robotic when she hugs it. She's like goes like really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no muscle grading. So there's like she's been
it's more like depth perception issues.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of occupation therapy, physical therapy she did in school and outside of school, and also like if she did beading, like as a kid she couldn't do beading because her hands were just like this, like she couldn't find it.
Shaking?
Like like this.
Okay. But no tremors just like that, resting or anything like that, right?
She feels like sometimes she tells me there's a little bit of a tremor, right? Like occasionally.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like.
But not constantly, right?
Is it just when you're anxious?
Maybe, but like sometimes like once I like didn't eat a lot of food and I was very hungry that I was like shaking.
Okay, that's normal. If your blood sugar gets low, you'll start to shake, and if you're under, I feel like some stress or anxiety, you get a little bit of like a little tremor.
But this was more of like
more of a coordination issue.
It's more of like if she's trying to focus, the closer she would get, like then it would just start.
Yeah. So I mean, like when you miss things, they call that optic dyspraxia, like you misjudging where things are in relation to where you think they are, and you kind of miss it. So we'll do some examination findings for that and see if that's how bad that, see if that's there, and what degree it's there. And then the other thing is is there any issues with coordination doing beading work now?
It's a little better, right?
Yeah, it's better, but I want to try out but like once I was in an art class and they did beading, and sometimes like I just like shaked a lot.
You shaked a lot.
Yeah, so it's like she recently had a microscope test when she had to adjust and she couldn't. She failed that. Like she couldn't adjust the knob for the microscope.
Is it one hand or both hands? Is it one hand or both hands you notice?
It's one.
No, I think it's both hands.
Yeah.
I mean, you work with the right hand.
You're right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to I was the microscope. I had to use a different microscope than I was normally used to. So it was like.
Yeah.
If you do this and then touch your nose like that, and then touch that bottle, but touch the tip top. We'll go slower. Let me just see. Okay, do it again. Okay, and then the other side. Okay, just try to touch the edge right there. Right there, on this side, right where my fingers. Yeah, there. Do that again. Okay, other side. Is that challenging for you, or?
Was it a little challenging?
What's challenging for you? Like to figure out where it is, or?
Yeah, but also I was shaking like that.
I noticed that right at the end. Yeah. Okay.
And
so those are called termination tremors, kinetic tremors.
Yeah.
There's a cerebellum involvement.
Yeah, I've been hearing cerebellum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, her occupational therapist at school, she says, like, she doesn't know where she's in space. I don't know what that really means, but, like, sometimes she just adjusts herself a little bit, like, you can see her body goes, like, a little bit like this, like, occasionally. I don't know what that means, really.
Okay, how about falls and trips and things like that?
Not that much.
Not that much, but sometimes, like, I trip a bit.
But it took her many years to know how to, like, go down, like, the stairs.
Difficulty too.
Oh, like she was little, like kids would just like zoom, and then she would just like which leg first, which leg, she's just holding rail.
So it was like doing and learning like motor tasks. Is that difficult?
It was pretty difficult, yeah.
I think walking down the steps or getting out of car, like she would like get be slower, like just.
How about now? Still some struggles?
Yeah. So
difficulty with it.
School is mainly saying that slow processing is an issue, so she gets an extended time. She has
Right.
IEP at school for extended time on tests.
Okay, but unrelated to like taking tests, just movement, like motion, doing activities, learning things. Those are difficult still.
Yeah.
Like if you had to do you do dance or do anything?
I do tennis.
Is it hard for you to do? Or?
Sometimes it's like hard to process. Like sometimes I get zoned out and like I miss the ball or some. But it's easy to do for me, honestly. But sometimes it's hard, like hitting back to the other player
Sure.
and like catching the ball that the player hit back to me.
Yeah,
That's hard.
it's hard for everyone.
But amazingly, she learned how to do piano, and she's a really good piano
Really?
player.
Yeah.
I can't even believe how she's doing it. Like
Fantastic.
coordinate. Yeah, it's like. But I treat it as therapy as well.
It is. No, that's what we're gonna want to figure out. Most of the battle here is not a supplement. Most of the battle here is going to be some lifestyle.
Like she played difficult pieces too. It's like amazing, and she doesn't even want to practice that much. But yeah, she,
Because like
yeah.
Okay. So I think I understand more of the information you wrote down for like motor issues.
Mm-hmm.
Shaking the hands seems to be only when she's moving and coordinating things. And
So
then
they
she has a
told
hard
me
time-
vestibular and proprioceptive, but that's what I kept hearing. Like
Yeah, do you know what
issues
any of
with
that means?
So proprioceptive is, what does it mean? Like muscle grading, or is that vestibular?
Proprioceptive is like your brain sensing where your muscles and joints and ligaments are in space.
Mm-hmm.
And then your brain has to process that.
Yeah.
That's proprioceptive.
Yeah.
Okay. There's also some periods of time you get it, you wrote it in here, and also just right now, where you just like tune out. Does that happen a lot?
Like
Like
zone
do you
out?
Oh, yeah.
do you ever like have to call her name, like Amelia, and then
Well,
she's not
sometimes.
focusing, and then
she's sometimes,
and then
but
she doesn't
she's
remember
deep
that.
in her thoughts.
that was just happening now. Honestly.
But you're just thinking about something. I don't think you forget what was happening, right? Or
Sometimes I tune out, but sometimes like I just thought of something else and like, oh, I want to focus on that now.
okay.
I didn't know.
Let me define a couple things. There's something called absence seizures.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out the symptoms that you're complaining or wrote about are absence seizures or not. Okay, so the difference would be an absence seizure. She would tune back in and not know she was tuned out. Like right now, that was not an absence seizure
Yeah.
because you were
I
just
didn't-
focused on something
yeah.
else.
Mm-hmm.
But the key thing would be like she doesn't even know that she wasn't there.
I haven't noticed that,
Okay, so that's
but
not.
maybe I missed.
Like you call her
Yeah.
name, you ask her questions, you do things,
No,
and then
I haven't.
she gets out of
noticed
it, and then like she doesn't remember you do anything. Now she'll just kind of go, "I'm tuned out. I was thinking of something
Yeah.
else." Right? Okay, so that's not an absence.
that. Yeah, but then who knows? I mean,
Okay.
but I don't think so. Yeah, I would have probably noticed if she's like completely like what.
Okay. So
She usually tells me what she was thinking about, after that. So I think she's more deep in thought.
okay. So let's go through after like school. What things are harder for you to do? Like difficult for you to do? Is it certain subjects?
Honestly, science is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So it's for everyone, honestly, because our science teacher's horrible. Like, he once gave me like 5 points off for not writing my last name.
So I have frequent meetings with the school, and
Yeah.
what they tell me is just ability to focus.
Stay
Like
focused.
inattentiveness is a huge issue for Amelia.
Yes.
They do have someone that has to come in every like 10 seconds or something to like make sure you're on task.
Not anymore.
You're getting better.
I'm getting really better, but
That's great.
Yeah.
So attentiveness has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those symptoms all throughout though.
Yeah, so they did like a counting, 10 minutes counter where they checked every 1 minute, right? And you got points if you
No,
focus
not
for 1 minute.
no, checked every 10 minutes. Checked everything every few minutes.
Yeah.
And like if I stayed on task for those 10 minutes, I would get like a check mark. And if I got all 5 check marks, I would like get a prize. Or something.
Yeah.
It's actually therapeutic. It's actually
Yeah.
frontal lobe therapy.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
they had to do it, otherwise, like 20 minutes would pass by and there was no work on the paper.
Yeah. Okay. Do you find it difficult to stay focused for how long do you think you can stay focused in if you're totally concentrating? 10 minutes? What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
It's like sometimes it like depends on like what subject and like what thing it is on. Like let's say if it was my favorite subject, like social studies, history, like history-wise social studies. Let's say if it was that, I would probably stay focused for like the whole period. But if it's like something that I don't really like let's say biology and science, it would be like maybe 15 minutes. Oh, that's so cool. But then like I would rather do something else, and like then my brain goes off and like scatters and like says like and like focuses on something else, like let's say like a painting or a poster in the wall and like other stuff. That's
how it is. Okay.
It's sometimes when I would sit down and help her write an essay, it would be like one sentence and she's just really totally out of it, and I would just have to like constantly say, please just write 3 more sentences, and it was just like really hard.
Difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's for sure. Anti-tetanus. They didn't try to get you on Ritalin or any kind of Adderall? Or?
They did suggest, but I said she has autoimmune issues, and we, we're trying to increase fish oil and like stuff like that just to try. I said, just to,
okay.
But I'm not even sure if Ritalin would have really helped.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have like a short-term gain, and the study shows long-term they stop working. And they're addictive.
But also, like, you could get her more.
You get very stimulated. Yeah. That means it's stimulant.
Yeah. So I don't know if she would be really more attentive. Yeah.
Okay. Has she ever been on thyroid hormones? She's been
so she did like NP thyroid, but then they had been recalled for not really having enough NP thyroid,
Okay.
in it.
How long was she on that for?
Maybe like less than a year. So that's my main question, really, because I feel like she maybe should have been on something more like substantial.
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
So.
I just didn't know who would understand this.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is one of the biggest missing factors of this case. Okay.
And I completely
realized so let's talk about all the things you need to know. Okay. So one concern is white matter. The brain has gray matter and white matter, right? And the white matter are all the tracks, and the gray matter is like all the neurons themselves. Okay, and the tracks where all the information comes in. That fully develops by age 19, 20, 21. Like, whatever is connected, what isn't. Okay, so this is like where ADHD becomes adult ADHD. Yeah. And then whatever. The sensory processing disorder is adult sensory processing. That's the timeline. So you have a timeline and the window of opportunity to connect, develop plasticity, have some massive brain changes, and in like a window of time, which is about 5 to 7 years now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thyroid hormones are absolutely critical for neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Like, they're dramatically effective in getting neurons to connect. Hypothyroidism can lead to a lot of learning issues, and it's something she clearly has TSH on labs that are elevated, like in the hypothyroid range.
Yeah.
That's the case there. Like, are you?
And this is the first time I've learned of this and realized that this whole thing is so important while I listen to your podcast.
Sure.
And you've talked about, hormone thyroids and constipation and just bone issues and everything else. And I'm like, okay, maybe this was like a huge missing piece. But then you've talked about like, choosing the right type and the right amount. And this is so like...
Okay, well, let's talk about
difficult, yeah.
So... I'm not sure if desiccated thyroids are going to be what you need. You're in too of a critical window to like play around with that. You need some thyroid hormones. So she needs thyroid hormones. Okay. Yeah. Now, as a parent myself, like I'm not crazy about any of my children, my daughter, going on any kind of medication.
Yeah.
Because like.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't consider thyroid hormones like a beta blocker or a drug where it's shutting down physiology. Yeah. Right? It's not inhibiting anything.
Yeah.
And if her thyroid gland has been attacked through Hashimoto's and has autoimmunity, 100% guaranteed she's going to be on thyroid hormones at some point.
Yeah. I know.
And she fits all the standards of being on there now
Yeah.
because her TSH is high.
Yeah, I realized that. Yeah.
So that alone can immediately change motility, can immediately change metabolism, can immediately change inflammation, and then it can create a window for neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
And that alone can mean none of those things can respond. So it's like one of the biggest things about your case.
Yeah.
So you have a family physician to prescribe that for you? Do you know anyone in your hometown?
No, I was
you can connect
actually
with?
wanted to ask you.
Any conventional person would see the lab test and say you need.
No, I have a you know, her pediatrician, and he can prescribe. I just don't know. He would he wanted to actually refer me to, you know, endocrinologist, but then I'm not really like, I wanted to see you first.
Okay, well
basically.
go down that route.
Okay.
And get on replacement. And there's always a possibility that she has an autoimmune flare up, and then so the way it's typically done, if thyroid stimulating hormone's high, that means she needs to be on replacement. Okay, and levels above lab which she's had indicate that she fits the criteria. Sometimes when people have autoimmunity, the TSH will fluctuate and go into a normal range and then back up, because when the tissue gets attacked, hormones get released in the bloodstream and it makes the TSH look normal. Because this is as if the thyroid is making it, but it's not making it. It's just releasing because it's being destroyed.
I remember that, yeah.
So you gotta you really have to just start.
Yeah.
That could be the main factor of getting an outcome and you have this window of time to make the biggest change.
Yeah.
And it'll impact most of the chief complaints that she has. Like the brain function, the constipation, metabolism, energy, focus, concentration, it'll all be impacted. Now, typically when people go on it and they really need it, they get like a honeymoon phase of like anywhere from like a few weeks to like 3 or 4 months, and then things start to come back down. You kind of really see what's left and what's happening.
Okay. Right?
Now, any form will work. To be quite honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, so typically, like some people can like natural thyroid hormones, but natural hormones have T4 and T3, and T3 can be very stimulating. Sometimes with anxiety, it could be like too much. And conventional people just use T4. They like T4 because the body can process it to T3. She has some issues with some of her labs recently where she wasn't converting T4 to T3 well. So she might do better with the bioidentical, or it's possible the bioidentical could be stimulating for her. Honestly, there is some trial and error.
Okay.
But even if you just start with like the conventional T4 that they put everyone on, levothyroxine, it would make all the difference.
Okay.
And then once she's on it, we can then make sure she's converting and doing everything or something.
Okay.
Because then, if you wait too much time to find someone just do natural or do all that, it can be too long. And conventional approach would be levothyroxine. And to be quite honest, with someone who's got a lot of anxiety and nervousness, that tends to work better. But she does have this pattern where her reverse T3 was high, which is a sign that she's not converting the thyroid hormone T4 into T3. So when you take thyroid hormones, you're aware of that, right? T4 is the one you take, but it has to convert to something called T3 to make it more active. So
I'm just
get on. So step one, like we're going to make plans. Like part of our initial plan is, and this is the most important first step.
Yeah, that was my first important
We're
question.
gonna want to consider. We want to figure out how to get thyroid replacement. Okay, so that's number one. Number two. What's your average day? Let's say what happens. Let's go through that.
Average what?
What time do you normally wake up? What do you eat? Start like hourly. What time do you want to?
School day or weekday?
School day.
Okay, so I usually wake up at
7:15.
7:15, and my school starts at 8.
Okay.
So
we live 3 minutes from school, so it takes us only 3-minute walk. So
a minute.
I let her sleep in just because we go to bed later.
Okay.
And I'm just worried about not having enough sleep, and that's a main concern too.
Okay, so what happens between 7:15 and 8?
So I already have the breakfast ready when she wakes
breakfast?
up.
So it would usually be eggs or avocado toast or something quick that my mom whips up.
Eggs and avocado.
I know, we can't have
Eggs, now I don't do that many because I'm a little bit worried
Okay.
about eggs, but usually it's like a avocado toast.
Or like, let's say my dad made sandwiches for lunch yesterday, so he like usually makes like 4 sandwiches. So he gives me 2 each. My mom gives me like 1 sandwich,
and then I try to like put some microgreens, like a handful of microgreens, maybe with a little bit of like olive oil on it.
Okay. Is it gluten-free bread?
Yeah, of course.
But not grain-free.
But we found some paleo bread. That's really good. Right?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but actually it has some other stuff that we probably can't eat, so we have to do better.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of the gluten-free stuff is it's refined.
Yeah.
Like, and she has some blood sugar spikes in her history.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like.
But actually, when I give you a sandwich, you eat the avocado, you leave the bread, so you don't eat that much bread in the morning anyway, right? Like.
Yeah, I don't really like to eat bread in the morning.
So.
Okay, so that's so 7:15. She wakes up, breakfast, avocado toast or eggs or maybe a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens from that? School?
So
What's
next,
lunch then?
So next, like I dress up and like get ready, and then after that, school.
So lunch is I try to give her like chicken nuggets
or like fast food, but like gluten free, and like dairy
or like
free.
lasagna, which is gluten and dairy free.
Just to like.
But it is from like a box.
Okay.
Because
Actually.
and sometimes sandwiches.
Or sandwiches, okay.
And like and that's like the best thing I can do because like that's what they usually have in school lunch.
She just doesn't want to be different from other
Understood.
kids, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me
like she wouldn't eat like a can of soup
Of
in
course.
school.
Yeah. Okay. And then what's after lunch? After you get home?
So dinner, right?
So dinner.
Do you get a snack when you come home?
Oh wait, yeah, I do get a snack. Like something light I usually get.
Mm-hmm.
Like what do you have?
Like let's say like it's different every day really, or different every week.
So like sometimes I give her like a fruit that's dried fruit, or I give her like chips that are healthy, like baked chips.
Okay.
Or like a bar, but you don't really like bars that much, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes like a gluten-free bar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what time is the snack? 3 o'clock.
The
4
thing
o'clock?
is with Amelia also, like I wanted to give her like sliced apple, but she is sensory and sometimes
the textures too.
the
Yeah.
texture is just
Okay.
she just would leave it and not eat it,
I understand. What time is the snack?
I guess like maybe 4ish.
4 o'clock. Okay.
No, in
No,
school.
no, like-
11? Like when do you
Oh,
get
this is a snack for school.
Yeah. Oh, not 4ish. Then like 11. It usually depends what period it is.
You start at 8, so after 2 hours you eat a snack?
No, I don't. I usually eat a snack in academic skills, but like my school schedule is horrible. Like it rotates every day. Like
Okay.
sometimes.
So before midday, maybe? In the morning or like later?
And like usually in the morning. Like
okay.
sometimes it's later because period 4, which is my academic skills class, is like it's the final class until lunch, and sometimes I eat my snack then, and sometimes it's like right before
Okay.
right before the last period to lunch. Sometimes it's the second to first period,
Okay.
and then it's like first period, and sometimes there's not even academic skills at all, so I have to like find another period to eat
I just
the
need to
snack.
know the time.
Oh. And I don't know the time. Then I don't know the time because it always rotates out.
Give me a window, like 11 to 1, 11 to 2. Is it
It's
before or after lunch?
Before lunch.
Oh, this is
so
before lunch. Okay.
Lunch
Then-
is at what, 11?
I guess, I think so. Or the first lunch. So I guess.
So
Okay.
what happens? Do you have a snack after lunch when you get home?
Okay, so after lunch I have a tiny snack because I can't wait till my dad gets home to cook because my mom sometimes works. So like I get something out of like the pantry and like have that as a quick little snack to munch on for like to keep me filled for the next.
Okay, so
few
what are
hours.
the things you get out of the pantry? Like what are some options? some things?
Sometimes it's like chips again. Sometimes it's like
potato chips or corn chips. Or
yeah, but I don't want to do potato. I think I can manage without potato chips. So it's like
or cassava chips sometimes.
cassava chips. Okay.
yeah, we can try cassava chips now
Okay.
more often.
Okay, cassava chips, and then what else?
I guess
Yeah, you like chips a lot.
chips, or like I can make something like pull out, make something like quick. Let's say I make something that I usually like to do is like make like a little quesadilla.
Quesadilla?
Like a little, not like a big quesadilla, like just one ingredient, just cheese, dairy-free cheese, of course, but like the quesadilla is like
You like to melt it on something?
melted using my like what is it called? I forgot.
Toaster oven?
No, it's like the panini press, like something
Okay.
like that. So it's like really good.
So you have like the tortilla wraps or like cassava wraps, right? We get those cassava wraps.
Yeah, we
sometimes.
get.
And she puts like cheese, the dairy-free cheese on, like in between them. I guess she likes to do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's sometimes what I do if I don't really want to eat anything, but I need to get something in me.
Okay.
I just do that.
What's dinner?
So dinner is usually like
Or also
soup sometimes with vegetables and sometimes chicken and salad.
or like sometimes like let's say before the paleo.
But we do eat meat.
Yeah.
So, but I do get grass-fed usually,
Okay,
mostly.
So meat, chicken, salad, what else?
Mm-hmm. Soup.
Soup?
Mm-hmm.
Just like soup?
Yeah, like vegetable soup.
Vegetable
We just
soup.
put a lot of vegetables and just,
Okay.
it's like
I don't
bones
really
or
like that.
something. But it's like a pain. Like I ask her to eat it just because it just helps to get veggies in, but
Yeah.
she
I'd rather-
hates the mushy stuff
Right.
and she gags on it because she's so sensitive to like mushy stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like
So she sometimes just eats the clear and then leaves the vegetables, which is like.
Okay.
But we do broccoli or like bok choy steamed.
So it's like
With
vegetable
dinner.
meat, basically, or
Yeah,
vegetable soup.
yeah, like some vegetable meat and
Any dessert
some soup.
afterwards?
no dessert.
No?
But then like supper would be like something light usually, or like sometimes I do like that quesadilla thing.
Quesadilla. Okay.
Yeah,
What about sugar? No sweets and stuff in here?
not really that much sweets, but like
I mean you
Just the
like
dried fruit?
on
Yeah.
occasion we have sweets in the house, and like you
you
can have
like
that.
you sometimes we get like coconut like
Okay.
cupcake or something like that. Yeah.
So like gluten, like I just want you to know, like cassava wrap, gluten-free bread, gluten-free lasagna, gluten-free chicken nugget. That's all refined
Yeah.
carbohydrates. That's a lot of
Yeah.
hidden sugar.
Yeah.
It's gonna cause insulin spikes.
Yeah.
So we're not like this is like not the best for insulin. It's-
Yeah, I know.
So we'll have to talk about some modifications here.
Yeah.
There's two things that trigger autoimmunity. One could be food proteins that she reacts to. The other could
Mhm.
be things that cause an insulin spike.
Yeah.
So do you get tired after you eat?
No, not really. I get more energized actually.
You get more energy after you eat?
Yeah,
But you sometimes want to like get a snack after you eat, right?
yeah, that's sometimes what happens.
Okay. Now you get recently you both looked into the autoimmune paleo diet, and you made peace with doing it.
Yeah, I made peace.
I said we'll replace it with travel time, right?
Or like
So the problem sometimes is people go
Clothing.
gluten free and they go, okay, well, what can we make that's like as much as, but even like a normal kid eating chicken nuggets and lasagna and quesadillas all day, that's not a good diet.
Yeah.
So it happens to be, it's like, oh, well, at least you're gluten free. But it's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
this is really still causing lots of insulin spikes
Yeah.
and other things like
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make more healthy steps. Like now with the quesadillas, I get a side of microgreens if we have it.
Yeah, but you need real stuff. Like
Yeah.
you've had, I don't know, 8 different GI panels, all with dysbiosis.
I know.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're not going to ever fix dysbiosis with this diet.
Yeah.
And if you don't fix that, you're not going
Yeah.
to have any chance of autoimmunity.
Yeah.
So I understand that the focus is kind of getting off the triggering proteins,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to like, there's only so many things you can do. Like
Yeah.
this game of recovery is not a supplement game. It's not a nutraceutical game. It's not going to be a supplement you take.
Yeah.
It's going to be like changing these factors. It becomes kind of normal to
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
one, without hormones, that'll make a huge difference. Two, like this will not work.
Yeah.
This will not work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's figure out with breakfast. Okay. So with breakfast, you do have the bread in the sandwich.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not often, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like.
What's your
eating
favorite
bread
meal?
in the
Dinner? Because you
Mm,
said you can't wait till your dad gets home and cooks.
Because I am hungry. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Poor kid.
Honestly, my favorite meal is like the after-school snack. Honestly, because
The fruit
Yeah.
chips, the
Yeah.
gluten-free bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
the sugar
sometimes I
stuff.
just put like broccoli with dinner, and you eat everything and then leave broccoli, right? Which is, we have to change that. You have to eat the broccoli.
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing. Like, let's figure out what we can do. So with breakfast, do you like dinner?
I do like dinner kind of sometimes. Like
Not that much, right?
not that much, but like sometimes.
What are your favorite dinners?
Honestly, sometimes dinner is like chicken, like.
What's your favorite?
Honestly, sometimes I make myself mac and cheese, and that's my favorite dinner.
Okay.
But that's like not really a big dinner, but
But that's like a price or reward or whatever, right? Which is
Yeah,
not
for, like-
good at
yeah.
all.
anyways, my favorite dinner would be, honestly, I guess like sometimes we have like homemade lasagna, and that was my favorite dinner.
Okay, homemade lasagna for dinner.
Yeah, just my favorite dinner.
Do you like chicken? Do you like beef? Do you
I like chicken. I don't like beef. I actually have beef with beef
Okay.
because like red meat makes me constipated, so I don't like beef.
Okay.
But you like the
Beyond Meat
Beyond
burger.
Meat burgers.
I'm just trying to see if we can
Yeah.
just have leftover dinner for breakfast.
Yeah.
Just for breakfast, like
Yeah.
she can't just have avocado scraped off and start her day, like because she's getting hypoglycemic.
Mm-hmm.
When she eats, she's functioning again. So like hypoglycemia is made or broken in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already broken.
Mm-hmm.
Either in the sandwich might be okay, but I'm not sure if the bread is too much for her.
Yeah.
But this cannot work.
Yeah.
Eggs would be okay, but she doesn't like them, or you're afraid of reactions.
No, I just thought like maybe with the autoimmune paleo we have to be off
Right.
of eggs. No, she loves eggs.
Okay. We don't have to jump like hardcore into autoimmune.
Yeah, I mean,
paleo. We gotta get her like some things to work with.
yeah.
The biggest thing with autoimmune paleo would be like the gluten, dairy, the nightshades, lectins. Those would be
Okay.
the bigger sugars. Okay.
Okay.
But obviously, if she has egg every single morning, that's not gonna work either.
Yeah.
So, are you in a rush in the morning? Do you have work, or what's going on?
Yeah.
So, would it be possible to just have extra dinner? And,
Yeah.
and have her eat that in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Because we need a real
Yeah.
protein.
We had someone that would cook for us once a week for her actually.
Yeah.
So, but then we would leave it for like 3 days and eat the
Sure.
food that's left in the fridge.
So
We can still hire
breakfast has to be protein for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's got, because if you look at her questionnaire forms, she's got blood sugar spikes all over. She's got like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Listen, that alone is going to trigger autoimmunity
Yeah.
every time it spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a trigger every day
Mhm.
right now, probably multiple times throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then she's not having any chance to rebuild the microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
This is all mostly refined gluten-free stuff.
Yeah.
And vegan cheese.
Yeah.
And maybe like because I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is how you create dysbiosis.
Yeah.
Unrelated to autoimmunity.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any vegetables you do like?
I don't know about that. Honestly, some broccoli, like steamed and adding like some sauce or something over it is really good. But
What about fruits?
fruits, I like mostly the fruit that I really like are strawberries, and that's really good.
Okay. All right. So
Blueberry sheets, yeah.
Sometimes I eat
Well, those are probably-
blueberries.
strawberries, all the berries are low glycemic, high fiber.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
like in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
Just a piece of chicken and some fruit.
Okay.
oh, yeah,
That would be usually like that. A piece of chicken and some strawberries and blueberries.
maybe. But like
You
that
can
wouldn't
have
go
avocados.
together.
Yeah, you can have it separate.
Yeah.
What about chicken breast with avocado on it or something?
Yeah, we can definitely have that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So do you need notes or you need paper?
No,
Yeah,
I
that's-
mean I
okay.
can remember that.
So this
chicken.
like there's when we look at autoimmunity, there's a few triggers. There's start with food. Food or dietary protein triggers,
Mhm.
and some people insulin spikes,
Mm-hmm.
which means the blood sugars are roller coaster. She has
Yeah.
insulin spikes.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do like chicken breast and avocado with some low glycemic fruit in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. Lunch is a problem because you want to have meals like everyone.
Yeah.
Right. So just leave that.
Yeah. But we can do better.
Do better if you
Yeah.
can. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the one that you have some flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then snacks. So how much sugar is in the gluten-free bars? Is it a lot?
Not even sure.
Okay.
But I can try to do better with snacks, I guess.
Yeah. So basically, we need much more. We need fiber in it. We need actual fiber.
Yeah. I
You
know.
can't fix the microbiome without fiber.
Yeah.
There's very little fiber in here, except that one time you have vegetable soup. Like if you look at it, maybe a little bit in the bites of avocado. There's not much fiber. Like all the microbiome has to have fiber.
We can have like I think I like the pouches with the artichokes. We get those.
Yeah, the powdered greens
No.
you're putting on. Is that
Not
what you're
the
doing?
powder.
What are you doing?
Pouches of with
Oh, can I
artichokes.
just bring it? Because
Yeah.
I think we popped
Let me
it.
see.
We just
Yeah, it's really good, and she likes it too.
Okay.
Maybe I can have that for breakfast too. Oh my God, what's going on? Is that you? Oh, she just made a reminder, I guess, for veterans.
Oh yeah, it's
The moment of silence. It's okay.
yeah, but it's on Monday. I think I messed up.
Okay.
Oh, this is what you're eating?
Oh yeah, this actually.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this is what, for snacks?
Yeah. So like, can you bring the snack bag? Yeah. So we have like,
Yeah, this is good fiber.
yeah. And she likes those. And I can give it to her for school. Amelia, can you bring the whole bag?
This is like what I like.
Yeah. So I mean, like sometimes I give her this for school as a snack.
Okay, that'll work.
I mean, she gets like mushroom jerky sometimes,
Yep,
and I
those
give
are-
her this for snack too.
These are great.
Yeah. I don't know if this is good or not.
It's okay.
But it's like coconut,
That's okay.
and it's like
And I give her like fruit roll-ups. I mean, it's not real fruit. Sometimes I.
Oh, these are the gluten-free bars you're talking about?
This is, but I don't like this because they have soy.
Okay.
So I try not to give those to her because I try to stay soy-free. So those are mostly like, I get like healthy stuff, organic, but it's still processed.
also
So, like,
Yeah.
I really like this drink.
It's just saying, like, eat real food.
yeah, exactly. So
This-
I
this
want to
is-
do
this-
better.
This can classify because it's just
Yeah,
veg.
yeah. This is like probably like the best, and they make like all kinds of different. She just She likes artichokes
Okay.
best.
All right.
So,
So, this is something we have to focus on
yeah,
in the next few weeks, months working together.
yeah,
We need to so there's going to be a series of things we're going to communicate with
yeah.
on a regular basis. So
And I am also like really interested about that fruit mashup that I've heard. I just never really have that.
she's not going to like the taste of it.
No,
No.
but even if
But it's okay. She
teaspoon-
can still have to do it.
Yeah, I wanted to like have
Just
her
have
do
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know about the veggie mashup thing?
Right, but I don't have the recipe. I don't know how to.
There's
find
no.
it.
Just mix as many vegetables together.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And just
I'll send you
cook
some
them?
stuff. yeah.
Okay.
No, you just put them on a food blend it all together.
Oh,
with the
okay.
food blender.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And you
And
keep
then-
it in the fridge, or?
Just put it in the fridge, and then if you make a whole bunch at once.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, go to the health food store or grocery store,
Mhm.
right? Get as many different vegetables
Okay.
as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Mix them all up. Grind them all up.
Okay.
Put them in jars. and just have a couple teaspoons every day.
Okay.
That'll start helping the microbiome diversify.
Okay. Yeah. That's a really good idea.
Okay. So we're gonna focus on diet. So let's just stick with the autoimmune paleo. Let's keep the eggs in there for now.
Okay. Just not too much, right?
Not too much.
Yeah.
And then let's add in the veggie mashup.
Because I also have heard like eggs make the bile sluggish, and I keep hearing from some other practitioners that bile is an issue for her, and they gave her like PC.
Yeah, that's right.
Bilex, but
Don't
then
worry
I'm
about
not
that.
sure. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. We're not gonna be able to figure everything out once.
Yeah.
We just gotta hit some. We gotta stop her blood sugar from spiking first. We gotta
Okay.
make sure she's not thyroid hormone
Yeah.
deficient. We gotta, make sure her insulin spikes go down.
Okay.
So those
Yeah.
we gotta get some fiber in her system.
Yeah.
If this is gonna work, that fiber, like the seaweed, that'll work. Artichokes will work.
I really like seaweed.
You do? Perfect.
Yeah. But there's also
We have to. The only problem is like she has. So one of the concerns like she has Hashimoto's, has iodine. There typically isn't a lot of iodine in this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to keep digging stuff. Like don't make this the only snack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can
Yeah.
get way too much dietary.
Yeah.
And the other question is also, just so you know about the research, they did two studies where they restricted iodine,
Mm-hmm.
and Hashimoto's patients dramatically improved.
Yeah.
So this is where but each person is sometimes very sensitive and some
Yeah.
are not sensitive.
Yeah.
So just be very cautious of it.
Yeah.
And right now we're not going to be extremely 100% critical because you have to do autoimmune paleo, and you have to kind of stay about
Yeah.
sugar. It's going to
Yeah.
get things a little harder. But just be very cautious of using a lot of seaweed. And notice and pay particular attention if you use seaweed, how she responds and feels.
I bought those kelp, I think, cubes, and I put it in her smoothie once, and I think she kind of got
So maybe stay away.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, veggie mashup, focused eggs. So you're gonna email me. So the way I'd like to follow up with you, okay, is for the first 3 months, let's do a monthly follow up with a phone call.
Yeah, I think I've set up something in a month.
Perfect.
Already, yeah.
But in between those, I want you to send me an email each week.
Okay.
We're gonna make a list of things to email each week. Like
Okay.
one of them is gonna be like the diet. So you need to do the diet for me, from when she wakes up. 8 o'clock she eats this.
Okay.
Or 7:45 she eats this. 11 o'clock at school. 11 to 1 she's eating this.
Okay.
12 something like that.
Okay.
So do it with a timeline.
Okay.
So I need a diet with a timeline.
Every day diet?
Just give me at the end of the week your typical thing she's eating. Just not every single day. You don't have to do a dietary journal every day. But if there's 3 different breakfasts she typically eats. Just let me know what those are, and then so we can make sure we're not missing anything.
Okay.
There's a lot of deficiency of real food and fiber,
Mm-hmm.
which she absolutely needs.
Yeah.
It's way too much vegan cheese.
Yeah.
And
we kind of slipped. I think we were a lot better in the beginning when we tried.
Okay. So, right now, we're in a window of time to try all these different things at once to see what kind of outcomes she can make.
Yeah.
And then, once she gets some change, you can make things less strict. But we want to be pretty aggressive in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then she'll get used to.
What about chicken broth?
You can do those.
Yeah.
They're not going to be helpful. It's not going to be a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be a game changer, I'm saying. But if you
what about camel milk? Some people say that it helps with autoimmunity, but then I think
camel milk?
Yeah.
Camel milk is still reactive.
It's still reactive.
Yeah. There's a study that was done that looked at human milk, camel milk, soy milk, sheep milk.
Because
it's the least reactive of all the animal milks.
Mm-hmm.
But it still has casein in it. It's definitely something you would want to give autoimmune disease people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to give autoimmune disease people casein.
Okay. Yeah. It's such conflicting information.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
We'll make a plan.
Yeah.
Focus on it, and don't worry if we don't cover every single thing you've heard.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just curious because I got camel milk for her in the past, so I was like, okay, even the Hashimoto, specialists say, oh, camel milk, people don't react, but then I'm not 100% sure. We never did a panel on it, to really test if she has, the.
Everyone's individualized. Don't do that. Please.
I don't want to do something that jeopardizes things anyway.
Who's the Hashimoto's person saying drink camel milk?
I just saw a post from Isabella Wenz.
Yeah,
she put camel milk. I don't know. I mean, there's just I was like, oh, that's great. But then I asked your assistant, I was like, do you know, like, because we talked about diet for like 5 minutes, and she's like, oh, do you think Callan like is okay? I'm like, oh. She's like, not really. I think Dr.
It's
Karadžian
still
said no.
It's still casein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just focus on a gluten-free casein.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right. So that was one of the. So diet was the other one, and the other key thing was, we're gonna make sure we find ways that our brain is being active and stimulated. Like, so diet's gonna be one thing that we we have to figure out. She's gotta be on thyroid hormones.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry. Yeah. Sweater. Okay.
What kind of exercise, movements, hobbies, sports is she doing?
That's the hard part because I mean, piano is the only thing. And
okay, well that's good. She does that.
Yeah.
How many times a week?
So every day she practices for 20 minutes.
Just 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then she gets bored.
Yes.
No. Just tennis in the summer, but you know during the winter you really are not doing much.
I can do indoor tennis, like in an indoor tennis court.
Yeah, so right now 2 days of tennis, and then she's gonna do tennis camp. We do some swimming in the summer.
Just 2 days of tennis.
Yeah.
How long?
For an hour.
1 hour. Is it a lesson or is it actual
Lesson.
playing? How much actual playing?
A lot. Like we have to do one-on-ones. Like we have to do singles. Like a lot. We have to like actually try to hit back to the other person. We do a rally, which is not like points, but like seeing how long you can hit back and forth.
Okay, so 5 days a week, nothing. Okay, that's like the major third one here.
Yeah.
Like,
I just don't know what to do.
what do you have to find something you like to do besides tennis, or you can do more tennis. What do you like to do?
Maybe I can do.
We need motor movement coordination.
I could maybe go back into dance.
Do you like dance?
I once had dance. I don't know how I feel about it now, but I can try to do maybe.
It's gonna be just hard to
Lyrical.
start. There's gonna be younger kids. If that's okay with you, we can sign you up for dance.
Maybe I can be good at dance. Like, remember when I started, I was like horrible at coordination. Like, I had this horrible teacher, but I want to have a different
we
teacher.
have to look for something.
Yeah, because the teacher was like.
She's not into like team sports.
That's fine. There's not team sports. There's a lot of individual things that she can do. Dance could be one.
I don't want to do like competitive dance, just normal dance.
Just have fun. Just to dance for fun.
Mhm.
Listen to music and dance. This is number 3, like most critical thing. Thyroid hormones being one, diet being the other.
Mm-hmm.
This one, like with sensory processing disorders, movement disorders, cerebral disorders. If you do not activate, you will not develop.
Okay.
And there's that
So
window
like
of time.
an hour. Like try to find something for an hour a day.
At least.
Yeah.
You can do hours if you want. If she likes
Yeah.
it. It can't
To
be.
get water. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Like for every hour, do something different, or like.
Not for every hour, but
Oh.
at least every day.
An hour every day for something.
We want you to find things you like to do, but you have to move and work on coordination. And
Also, I want to start doing more walks, like around the house.
Yeah,
So
we
maybe,
do walks. I'm sorry.
maybe I can walk to town one day, like by myself.
Yeah, we try to do walks now that it's warm.
walks are okay, but they're not as much integrating the motor coordination pathways.
Yeah.
We need things to activate motor coordination pathways. So dance and tennis would be work. We just can't have it only 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, we need to do it like almost every day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something.
Okay, so I think that might be like the dance. We have to find something.
And like I said, thyroid hormones, and then changing her diet so there's no blood sugar spikes and actually has more fiber and diversity in your diet,
Okay.
and constant movement.
Okay.
Those 3 game changers. Like ignoring these and coming up with another batch of supplements and some eye movements or something. I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
This is where it's made or breaks. This is
Yeah.
it. This is it. This is like. This is the focus. This is a lot of change for her, a lot of change for you, a lot of change for the whole family. But it's not like impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty. You just gotta get a routine. You have the window of time whenever.
Yeah.
You have a window. You have a window between when white matter is fully developed to
Yeah.
make the brain
Yeah.
kick in. The more coordinated, complex things are, the better it is. Put up a ping pong table at home or something.
We don't have a ping pong table, but we do have a foosball table, right?
Yeah.
Can you play with that or do something?
Yeah, but like there's a ton of stuff over it right now, like covering it, right, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Things that can involve hand coordination, movement. Really
It's just hard for her to start because she's so like.
It's okay. She's only with you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
you guys. You can get good at it too.
But also,
Yeah.
for some reason, I really like. I don't like to play basketball, but I really like dribbling the ball.
What about playing catch?
Like also catch. I really am a good catch.
Yeah.
Catch. Like
You
Can
can
you-
do volleyball too, right?
I don't think volleyball because I tried volleyball out in school, and I was not really good.
Can you? Can
we
you make
have,
it?
badminton set.
Can you do some kind of fun game activity
Mm-hmm.
before
Yeah.
dinner every night?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like catching the ball or
Yeah.
badminton or something. Just
Badminton,
make it like
yeah.
a normal routine thing.
Badminton.
We can go.
We like
you know what we can do?
Mm-hmm.
So after walks with Tuffy, we can always, the fun tennis game that we did once with Tata.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
Okay.
So you need some fun games before
Yeah.
dinner. You can do.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
more
I think I know
Yeah.
idea.
Okay.
So I once
So we have to do that.
that one game that we did once outside.
Mm-hmm.
Once I did this fun game where we had to catch. So we have two tennis balls.
Okay.
And we threw a tennis ball around. So there's two tennis balls and you had to catch one. So the best way to explain it is you throw it to the person that has the first tennis ball.
But you almost have to catch it right away because somebody else is throwing the other one, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's coordination. Then the dog gets involved and it's so fun.
Find some fun games to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
different
think.
ones.
Yeah.
Lots of things out there. As long as you're
Okay.
catching, coordinating,
Okay.
Yeah, because I think
it's critical.
Okay.
that one game that we did is really good, and you can benefit too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, our brains are aging too. you
Yeah.
know? Come on.
Yeah. It was too much for me with the two balls. I was like, I'm out. But yeah.
But you need to do it because it's better with 3 people.
Yes. Sure.
Have you found that low dose naltrexone beneficial at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But it's hard to get the prescription. It's sometimes
Okay.
when we run out, the doctor doesn't call back, and
So for most people I've seen who have autoimmunity, when they first go on it, they get some benefits, and then they stay
Mhm.
on it, they don't.
mm-hmm.
And then when they get crisis care, they don't have anything tools.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it seems to be great for crisis.
Just people say it's just better to be on it just in case.
That's just theoretical. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a point they just don't respond. It doesn't do anything. People see their T cells and B cells and immune panels initially change a little bit,
Mhm.
and then doesn't respond anymore. Go back to
Mhm.
where it is.
Yeah.
And then, but it's up to you. Just think about the most important thing with the thyroid hormones. As far as supplements go, which one do you think has made the biggest difference? Anything? You've taken Enterobite, Ionic Gut Support, Syndrome X, SPM Active, Focus.
I think that right now she does the ion biome. The more I do it consistently, and she has less constipation.
What is it?
The ion biome.
Ion Gut Support?
It's like a fulvic water, like dirt water.
Oh, dirt. Oh, I got you.
You're giving me dirt water?
Oh, it's like for leaky
Yeah.
gut.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just noticed last half a year we don't really have that much constipation issues, right? And I also do GI Revive.
Okay. Now, I will tell you, the two big things that are going to change constipation more than anything you've ever done
Mhm.
will be movement
Yeah.
and thyroid hormones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
drinks, movement and drinks. Because for me,
Yeah, hydration is important too.
Mhm.
not water, but something else,
Like smoothies, right?
or let's say strawberry acai from Starbucks actually gets it out. Once
Yeah, but it's very not
it's
not
not
real fruit.
but it's
So we
I know
wanna
it's,
avoid Starbucks, right? We don't really get
it's not really healthy, but it actually gets the job done. Once I was horribly constipated and I went out to town with friends on Friday, and I drank a strawberry acai from Starbucks. No caffeine, no No, anything. Just like a strawberry acai lemonade drink.
But I also feel like once you're out of the house and walking around with friends and being active, I think that helps with the motility
Yeah, but
too.
then I felt the urge and went to the bathroom immediately after this drink.
Okay.
Which is so...
The most recent blood test you had was 2022? The one in June?
Mm-hmm.
Or in September?
No, yeah,
August 22, yeah.
August.
Okay. So that one's showing like vitamin D was very low. Is she taking vitamin D? No? Okay. Definitely need a vitamin D. Yeah, that was a 20. That's like for like significant deficiency.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you go. Homocysteine, CRP, 3. Can we do order an updated blood test?
Yeah.
I want to check
Yeah.
vitamin D or fatty acid levels.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure she had a pattern of being anemic in the past. That's a lot of markers you ran.
Yeah.
Then, like, for nothing. Okay, let's get like an updated panel. Who ran this? This is a lot of stuff. That must have been several $1,000s, yeah?
I think so, but like she's known to just do everything, and I just want her to get everything done too. Like I don't really like.
Yeah, you want her to be better. You're mom,
I
and you're
really
scared
do.
and you're nervous.
I don't want her to get worse.
Okay.
I'm worried about a few things.
These things here are all you and your husband coordinating with her, and they're the only thing that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Like, diagnosis is clear as can be. There's no problem with the diagnosis. It's just what you do with the expression of the condition.
So does it really matter, like, what's the cause of the autoaggression in with her?
Autoaggression or autoimmune? Autoaggression, like her mood?
No, like the autoimmune aggression, right?
The aggressiveness of the
yeah,
autoimmune?
like the attack on mammalian cells.
It's possible she gets worse.
No, yeah.
It's possible she goes into remission. It's hard to say.
But what is like the trigger of it? Like, what do you think? It doesn't even matter if we like find what caused this to go to that.
What turned it on, you may never find.
Yeah.
No, it's just how well it expresses.
Yeah.
Like
because the thing
there isn't a model like you find the trigger and you find it and you remove it and like it's cured. That never happens. That doesn't.
Yeah. This is obviously like probably like a bunch of stuff across the years.
It's multivariables. Yeah. I mean, your husband had vitiligo too.
Yeah.
Right? So there's the gene there.
Yeah.
The gene got expressed.
Yeah, and he has Hashimoto's because he has high TPO as well.
Okay, so there's the gene.
Yeah.
And then she's been through some stressors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I actually learned genetics, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
So I knew. I once Googled is vitiligo passed on genetically, and sometimes it is. So I think mine was honestly passed down genetically.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Like Hashimoto's is the top autoimmune disease in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are like the three main things I really wanted to cover and understand with you. Like I understand the labs. Like I've highlighted all of them. Like I know what we're dealing up against here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to get a routine blood test.
Yeah.
And I want to do some markers with that. It's probably going to be like around $400 with all the things on check. It's not like the thousands you spent on some of the past ones.
Yeah.
Just updated fundamental basic markers just that she's healthy. Since it's been over a year she's had anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any specialty tests you thought would be really important to do?
I'm sorry?
Okay. Sorry.
You hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you eat this?
No, I just want the rzeczki.
What's rzeczki?
The nuts.
Oh, okay.
That you found at your...
But I thought you were going autoimmune paleo.
Oh yeah, no nuts. I didn't know that I couldn't have nuts. I forgot.
No.
You can't?
No.
She
just took those from your...
If you already eaten them, it's okay.
It's fine.
If you already eaten them, then it doesn't matter if you have some more.
No, it's fine. I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have something like this.
So, Any special labs or anything you thought was important to do?
I guess, I mean, we had, I don't know if it doesn't matter really, like, we already know that there's antibodies.
Neurofilament, myelin, thyroid, TPO.
Yeah. You know, the brain antibodies and stuff, like, I mean, I just, like, is it worth doing another Cyrix, or is the old one still okay? I mean...
Okay, so Cyrix has lots of different tests.
Yeah.
Okay? So they have one for foods, one for chemicals, one for just general autoimmunity, one for pathogens. I want to say we should look at... My suggestion is to do this in layers.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Because a lot of the things like you get a food sensitivity panel, but you're already going to do autoimmune paleo, so that won't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that don't even matter unless you can get these things fixed first.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's kind of like if you the three things being the thyroid hormone, the change in diet, and getting some physical movement and coordination stuff. Like if you can't get that in, there's no point for any other things to change. But if there's anything you're dying to know now, because like let's say you get this down, like you get a diet where it's autoimmune paleo, and she's also stabilizing blood sugar level. It's not all just cheese and blood sugar spikes all day, refined carbs that are gluten free. And then she's doing coordination and movement and getting exercise in, and let's say her TSH is normalized. We can see like what's left over. Like I might get rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then we can look at stuff. Now you've had so much lab work already. Yeah. With chemicals and all these things, and they get GI panels, keep showing dysbiosis, like.
Yeah, which is you know I've been told like some of the pathogenic bacteria could be causing autoimmune issues. So is it like important to like clear the the pathogens?
Yeah. No, you gotta fix her diet first. Okay. How many supplements have she been on? How many rounds? Yeah. Like. You know, like, I don't know, 6 or 8.
And actually made it worse, I think, to be honest.
You can't fix dysbiosis through supplements, so you fix it through diet.
Okay. Yeah.
You can kind of...
So there's like Provotella, which is like autoimmune trigger.
Maybe. Depends on the autoimmunity. Depends on a lot of the variables. You're doing all the easy stuff, not the hard stuff. Yeah. The hard stuff is this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But it's okay. Don't worry about that. So what we'll do is like... There's tests we're going to plan on doing. Okay. We should see the GI panel improve.
At some point.
We should do another Cyrix like antibody panel to see what's going on. Okay. Okay. We should probably at some point just make sure her barriers are intact.
Okay. But and not what test is that?
Like array 2. Oh, okay. Cyrix array 2. Okay. We could check to see if her blood barrier is intact. But if she has a pro-inflammatory, high insulin surging diet. What's the point? And she has like you can't fix leaky gut when someone's hypothyroid. Yeah. Like thyroid hormones help regenerate the intestinal cells to help with metabolic rate all throughout the body. It's not gonna work.
I mean, you know, like a lot of things got worse when there was definitely like a period where she got the COVID infection. Yep. So that might have triggered things. And then at that time she was also doing like detox. We finally said like we have to do some detox because they kept telling if you have those chemicals and you have heavy metals and you have like maybe Lyme co-infections.
Wait, for sure doesn't have Lyme, and her heavy metal levels have never been outside of what most people have in their body. Okay. So what else?
They said like it's borderline Lyme, so there could be co-infection.
There's no such thing. It's like I saw the Lyme panel. Okay. It's like one of the immunoblots things were there. Instead of every single person. Okay. That's so crazy.
So and that detox actually made it worse. Like she literally got like swollen up, you know. Within like 4 months she was the skinniest kid, smallest kids, and all of a sudden she was like
with the detox.
Like 4 months. Like
what was she doing in detox?
I think it was literally
was the Clean Heart protocol?
Yeah.
What were you guys doing for that?
Like chemtox, cocktail, drops, like it's herbal, a lot of herbal, homeopathics and stuff like that.
You might have like disrupted
she got really constipated. Yeah.
That's the thing, if you the microbiome,
her immune system just got out of whack. It was just too much. The COVID happened at that point also, and just that really dysregulated her immune system. At that time, the TPO, because we had TPO in like 20s, 30s, like every year, and then all of a sudden it was 100, 170, and now it's like 1,000, above 1,000.
Same lab or different lab? If it's a different lab, you can't judge it. It has to be the
We
same
did
lab.
switch to LabCorp after
So you can only compare baseline from the same lab.
Maybe that's the problem too, but yeah.
We'll check updated antibodies. Okay. Now with this one, just to see where they're at. We'll use that as the baseline.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
We'll do another LabCorp antibody.
Yeah.
Whatever they are will be the baseline.
Okay.
So what studies show is like one person's antibody count. The antibody count isn't itself destructive because antibodies don't kill destroy anything.
Okay.
They just tag what tissues need to be tagged.
Mm-hmm.
But a person's baseline, if it becomes higher, means that their disease is getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't compare one person to another person.
Yeah.
And you can't use one lab versus another lab because they're assayed differently.
Okay.
And that's why the ranges are so different from one to the other.
Okay.
Okay. But okay. Anything else? Any other labs you thought might be important? Oh, by the way, she doesn't have. So we're also saying she doesn't have Lyme. She doesn't have severe toxic metal issues.
Okay. Because there were some Cyrex that showed like maybe heavy metal, but I don't know.
There's some chemical immune reactivities. Had mixed heavy metals showed up on the chemical panel.
And then it was like so also
it has to do with immune tolerance. That isn't how much chemicals are in our body.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that our immune system is reacting to chemicals bound to proteins.
Okay.
It's not.
So we did also like a provoked urine test once, just to test things, and so there was like a lot of copper that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing. If I had this, I'd be doing cartwheels.
Really?
Yeah. If this was mine, I was almost within that range. I'd be so happy.
I think we did too. Was it like that's the only one? I know it's like a lot of copper dumping that I've been told, and so people like. Some practitioners were concerned about copper metabolism, and also I know with vitiligo there's like issue with the copper and zinc balance that I've been also hearing. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, like the copper metabolism, because one neurologist tested her for Wilson's, like a genetic test, because she sent us to like an eye doctor to see if there's copper deposits.
Yeah.
She was really concerned by really looking to her blood work, and she's like, there's some copper metabolism issue where you just don't there's a lot of unbound copper, but you don't make it bioavailable. So there's copper deficiency in the blood, but there's like copper maybe like floating around causing oxidative stress.
Okay.
Could that be an issue? I know with vitiligo people talk about copper imbalances.
It may be an issue, but I don't know if it's like more important than the first four we have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so copper.
Yeah.
Copper evaluation. Anything else you want to check in the future?
I
have my own list. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything.
Yeah, and so I'm concerned about the inflammation, and
it's a big deal.
Like, what can we do in the meantime to like kind of reduce it? Maybe.
Thyroid hormones.
Yeah.
Change in diet.
And so I do have liposomal glutathione because I heard you talk about it.
So let's talk about supplements.
Yeah.
If you want to do. But there isn't anything you've found had a major difference, right?
I just kind of gave her a little bit of like what was it called?
Resveratrol.
Yeah, and then a little bit of turmeric.
Yeah.
Just some supplements just to kind of calm myself down that I'm actually doing something,
Okay. Those would be the three best things.
The liposomal glutathione.
Those three would be the best things.
Okay.
And actually enterovite. The one you're taking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
So you can tolerate that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's make the supplements.
And then, someone, I think pediatrician put her on the SPM active, and I'm not really sure what that's really for, but he told me to take it.
So it wouldn't be a bad idea to just calm everything down with inflammation. That's a general thing. Mm-hmm. If you already have turmeric, resveratrol, and glutathione.
Yeah, and I have some mushroom mixes too, but I
don't use those
right
now because we don't know what's going on with your immune system.
Okay.
So, and then the...
how about the syndromics? Is that good, or...?
Any of these other things you see on this list that you feel is helping her, keep them on.
I'm not really sure, but syndromics was just to kind of keep her from the insulin stuff. Like
it's not working.
No.
Change your diet. You'll fix that.
Yeah.
So the 4 for sure would be the turmeric, resveratrol, glutathione. This is very anti-inflammatory. Some short-chain fatty acids, which is in turmeric. The rest of these, if you feel they're making a difference, go ahead.
I'm not really sure.
I would rather have you not do a mushroom blend.
Okay.
Because we don't know what her autoimmune is right now.
Yeah. Like I had a practitioner who was actually giving her a lot of reishi mushrooms for like autoimmune regulation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, it could work for some people. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. Just those supplements for now.
I mean, at that time she never got worse.
Okay, maybe you didn't do
But
it.
I didn't see improvements with the brain function.
There's no supplement you're gonna give that's
Yeah.
gonna make her symptoms improve. It's
Yeah.
gonna be these lifestyle factors
Yeah.
that make a change over a period of time.
What made her worse was that detox, really, and maybe the COVID infection. Yeah.
I just want to
And
say...
she actually did take gluten in school, which I didn't know. And then you're not doing that anymore. But that was a slip up that happened in school because she just felt like, a little bit wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah. It would.
And at that time, so everything was at the same time. So it kind of like made her.
Yeah. It could be a combination of everything. Triggered it was one thing.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why, but over the past few years, I had trouble. Now I'm having like trouble, and I'm scared to kind of taking pills because I don't know what will happen. Because like I believe once I took so many pills.
Your stomach hurt, right?
That my stomach hurt, and I eventually vomited.
You didn't.
We would never do that again to you.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah. She's
And I just
have
don't like
a little bit of
taking
aversion
pills.
right now, but she'll take like 5 at a time sometimes, right?
We're gonna have
In
you
the
just
morning.
take a few liquid ones, and then one capsule.
Okay, that's good because like
Okay.
in the morning I don't have enough. No, right now, in the morning I don't have enough
Food in your
water
stomach.
water to actually swallow the pill. It's like
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't want
That's
to put
how
you. We don't want to do that to you.
So-
pills I have.
A couple of questions on the supplements. Some people say HCl, which is just to give acidity. Like,
Yeah.
would that be a good idea for digestion? Because the digestion and proteins like
Does
autoimmune
she have-
activity.
Does she have a problem with that right now?
No, but I was
I didn't see
thinking
any
like, would
symptoms
that be
of it.
helpful? And I mean, yeah.
Let's just start with those 4 and then see
Okay.
what our symptoms are.
Okay.
One of the things you'll also be doing the first few months we talk is you'll be
Mhm.
filling out those questionnaire forms again,
Mhm.
and we check for all those kind of symptoms.
Yeah.
So
And one more question, like somebody prescribed her like pregnenolone.
that's a terrible idea.
I was just thinking I think it kind of like made her worse, and I would like just to fix all the hormonal problems and the thyroid, like as a basis, and I wasn't like sure if that was a good idea or not. But actually,
It's not
I
a-
just had a bad feeling about
A
it.
12-year-old pregnenolone, like there's something wrong with
Yeah.
understanding things. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't usually like to talk bad about any of the practitioners.
Yeah, I know, but it was a big question.
Everyone's trying their best.
Exactly. No, and I totally get it, and like.
But you try, like there's a attempt to test and supplement out of this, and that's not going to be the factor. It's going to be diet and lifestyle and
Yeah.
brain
Yeah.
activity. It's
Yeah.
going to make the difference here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. I mean, magnesium is also like a big one that we sometimes she was on a magnesium, but then we kind of stopped with that. Maybe helps with
It
constipation.
can help with constipation.
Yeah.
To soften stool.
Okay,
You can do that.
but which type? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, glycinate would be. Yes. Okay.
That'll work.
And then I also heard like apples that are kind of baked where they get slimy, like the pectin is good for inflammation. Is that something that
I'm
you
not.
can
If you want to do it, I don't see any problem with
do?
it.
Yeah, that's the problem sometimes. Yeah, but yeah. And then somebody says like tatka, like for liver and like
Vodka?
yeah,
What's that?
TU, DCA, which is more for like bile and gallbladder and like digestion, I think. But also like sometimes I give her like a spoon of like fermented sauerkraut.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
What-
Any real food you want to give her, especially if it's fermented,
Yeah.
always great.
And also like there's like this type of a ghee that it's 99% casein free, but 99. Like, would that be okay, or is this too risky?
It should be okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Is like I have a question.
It's like a brand that they taste, that they test for casein, so they really want to make sure that it's pure Indian. Or
we're going like autoimmune paleo, but you're making some adjustments for eggs. You're making some adjustments for, let's say, CD.
Like we're completely dairy free, but I know she likes the battery.
Most of people
sometimes.
that are extremely sensitive to dairy seem to do okay with ghee.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Also, like, do any sour vegetables count as like?
Yeah. Most of the sour vegetables count as being really good.
Like
pickles?
Yeah, I love sour pickles.
You know what? Yeah. You should eat a lot of sour pickles.
Yeah, I would love that.
But you like those that are, because we're Polish originally and we buy them, and they're not from the fridge, but you like those still. But I like the ones that are like from the fridge with the probiotics. But she
just
thinks
get any fermented vegetable if she wants the fruit.
It's not, but the bacteria is dead because they're not from they're from the shelf, not from the fridge, though, right?
There's still gonna be some.
Really?
Yeah, it's still fiber.
Yeah, it's definitely fiber.
It's better than quesadilla.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, I would love. If pickles were the only thing I would eat every day,
if they're in vinegar, then we should stay away. Only salt water or no? Better salt water, right?
Yeah, better with salt water, but
okay.
If she likes vinegar, like get her some fiber that way.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the vinegar ones.
Perfect.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like those ones.
And then like, what else did I wanted to ask? So vitamin D3, do you know like which brand is good?
Oh, anyone, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Yeah.
So that's the other thing we should add there, because the levels are so low. We can do updated tests, but let's add.
How about like enzymes with food?
Does she have any bloating, distension, discomfort after she eats?
Sometimes she feels like after, like occasionally. Yeah.
We don't like to do a lot of that stuff with a 13-year-old, excuse me.
No, okay.
No, I want to see what like physiology comes back on its
own. But we do the digestive bitter spray sometimes if she feels a little bit undigested, and that really helps.
Okay. Do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep adding the supplements if you don't have to. You know?
Yeah, and that's why we really are like reduced everything. That's why our list is so small now.
Carmela's got trauma about it. She's like, how much water do I have to drink?
Yeah, it's been years with different supplements, and I'm tired and I'm broke from like buying.
Most of the stuff you have to do, well, the supplements you already have. Okay.
Yeah.
The other stuff you have to do doesn't really. It's just
I know that's the hard part. Yeah, because we both work, and that's the hard part.
Hard
but we do have, our friend, actually, she. As like a cook.
This definitely will take some planning and coordinating.
Yeah.
Planning and coordinating stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
So with the thyroid replacement hormones, would you be able to give some guidance which one?
Whichever one any prescriber wants to do is where you start.
So we would just listen to somebody that we go to for that.
Any of them, if she's hypothyroid, will make a huge impact.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we just see what.
Let's go from there.
Okay.
Don't make it so difficult, because all these people, it's not about theory. We just want to get some thyroids in our system. If it's just levothyroxine, which is the T4 standard one that they use, it'll still have a huge impact.
Okay.
Oh, that could be all she needs.
But do you have someone that you actually would be able to recommend on the East Coast?
No. All the people I do functional medicine, they all have like months and months waiting list, and they're all going to want to do their own thing. You just need a conventional healthcare provider that's it's hypothyroid, let me just give you some meds.
Okay.
And let me monitor it for make sure that's all you need.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So we're just eliminating what now? Legumes and
just try to do the autoimmune paleo diet.
Okay.
And just don't be as critical with eggs, because she's not getting a lot of protein in the morning. If that can help, that may go okay for now. And then we might just don't do it every single day.
And just what kind of impact hypothyroid has on getting a period and just getting that huge
dramatic.
So that means that she might not get the period soon if she's hypothyroid. Is that what it means?
So how long will I have to wait?
I don't know. We don't know.
Okay.
Because I think this is around the age that I should have been getting it.
Okay, and one more question. I've heard and I keep thinking about fasting, and I know she's not the age, not right now.
No.
Because I know it sounds like an even though it sounds hard, but it's like if we can like regulate the immune system somehow.
And then once she's not hypothyroid, a lot of things are going to dramatically change.
Okay. Okay. And with the gut issues that the colonoscopy showed, like
It's just inflammatory.
is it like because I got like really worried about
Just
it?
inflammation. Okay.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, just with the vitiligo, like, do you think some of it might be like fungal too, or no? Like,
No.
some people say, it might be like fungal or no, like.
Anything that's white, people say it's fungal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. No, it's an autoimmune disease against melanin, isn't it?
I mean, we did tests for some like mycotoxins, and there was
Those are minimal.
Minimal.
Yeah, that's just from exposure.
So we did find mold in our house recently, and we've been living in it, and we didn't know. So we removed it.
Okay.
And then my husband now, so we're actually gonna have like a second floor, remove like all the walls and check everything. Okay. So we just want to make sure
we're not
living. Yeah.
You never want.
So we might move out for 3 weeks, so it might be hard, but we have to do it.
Okay.
Like, we have to check.
So remember, like, not all mold is toxic black mold. There's a special
It actually
species.
was black.
But I mean, even black, not all.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, all mold is going to be different colors, and bluish black, and
yeah.
But it's not the mold that causes what are called mycotoxins that are very deadly. There's some mycotoxins in foods, some mycotoxins you get around exposure.
Yeah.
Like, on her levels, they weren't off the chart.
Yeah.
If you were freaked out about she's getting mold toxicity, that's not accurate.
Okay.
The one you did with real-time labs and the one you did with
Is it kind of like, she got worse at 4 years old when we actually moved into this house?
If you're cleaning and getting rid of it, then that variable's going away. Yeah. Mold can definitely be an issue.
Yeah.
But you're doing what you can for it.
Yeah.
Your biggest giveaway, like people that really have mold illness, is they leave the area, they feel a lot better, they come home, they really get worse.
Yeah. And then so, I also wanted to ask I kind of hear about the helmets and the therapy with the helmet.
Don't do that now.
Not right now.
Don't even. That's like, don't jump into that.
How about like H-bot?
H-bot.
Like hyperbaric.
Oh. It's not gonna make that unless we had like, so hyperbaric chamber therapy for the like brain works really well after an acute injury. And if she's getting acute neural like demyelination, that might be helpful. I'm not sure if she's getting that. I don't know.
Okay.
You can try it.
I mean, we tried 10.
10, you would know by now.
She got really constipated after. I think she got a little better. There was slight improvement in her like cognition.
Okay.
But it was like a while ago. But I was like, I keep thinking like, is there anything like I can buy a chamber, maybe invest in one and just do 40 sessions and then sell it. I don't know like if this is like anything with the brain.
Don't do that right now.
Okay. And then we do have Juvelites, which is like the red light therapy. I bought it for vitiligo, but I'm a little scared of trying new, but
sure. Experiment, see if it works or not for you.
Okay. The vagal nerve exercises. Do you think that might be beneficial for her? Like we're not that.
I don't think so. We'll do an exam and check again reflex and all that. But I don't think that's going to be the issue. Okay. I think as she gets some thyroid hormones and starts to move, make sure she's hydrated.
Okay. I'm almost done. I'm sorry.
It's okay, no problem. Those are all the questions you wrote down?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through them.
Yeah, so I mean...
Just go one to one. We'll go through one.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of it already. I do, like, some people said that for that copper dysregulation, that quercetin actually balances zinc. Yeah. Zinc and copper ratio, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't want to, again, like you said.
There's like a zinc copper ratio model in disease. There's a guy who wrote a big book on copper and blamed everything on copper. And some people feel like that has a lot of validity.
Yeah. I mean, there's more leap protocol I've heard and all that kind of stuff.
Let's just go after the things that are clear.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you only have so much energy and she only has so much energy.
Yeah.
You start distracting yourself with trying to go down an alley.
And we've tried all of this.
I know.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, we've tried, I know she has the MTHFR and then she has methylation issues, and she's always that, B6 deficient. They put her on B6, then she got really hyper in school. They called me like she can't function. So it's like, nothing really helped.
Yeah. Again, you can't supplement your way out of this.
No.
This is not a supplementation.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Like, we've tried so many supplements and just, like,
I know.
parasite detoxes and all kinds of stuff.
And no need for that.
No.
She didn't even have a parasite. She just had dysbiosis.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main issue.
Yeah, that's diet.
And I try to buy different kinds of food and just introduce different kinds of, but
it's not enough.
It's just not enough.
You got to invest more time into it.
Yeah. Okay.
What else?
I was on terbutaline when I went through the pregnancy. I don't know if that caused any issues.
I know you wrote that in. I read that. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
I don't think so. Those are associated with like birth defects, not birth defect.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I got steroid shots too.
Yeah.
Because I was in 3 months lying in bed on hospital rest.
Honestly, I don't think anything you did was a factor.
Yeah.
Are you at peace with that?
You should be
at peace with that.
I am. I'm more at peace. I'm not at peace that right now I'm missing something. Like, I'm a little bit, I don't know, like, disappointed in myself that I didn't put her on thyroid hormones replacements.
So what? Fix it now.
Yeah. That I just don't want to, like, find myself that it was, like, enough organ tissue, like
it wasn't enough. You need actual thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we know is you just see the TSH come down.
Yeah.
If it comes down and it's stable now, then it's enough. Yeah. So we don't have to guess or theorize. You just check it out.
Because I kind of went into that natural, like,
You took deep dive in.
Yeah. Because when she was born, she was put on antacids for 2 years.
Yeah, I read that.
And then she was given so many antibiotics, made her so much worse that I kind of like now, that hurt her a little bit. That I'm kind of like, I just want to avoid any conventional.
Can I be honest with you? With her genes from her dad,
it
was the amount of time.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with anything.
But his vitiligo never really got worse. He has like one little spot. That's it.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe get better over time.
The genes are there. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. The genes are there, and his mom has like, I think RA maybe because she's constantly,
Yeah, but the genes are there.
Yeah.
That's the amount of time. I'll be honest with you. When I was reading your case review, I go, oh no. Yeah. There's an added blame herself for any of this. You should not.
Yeah.
100%.
What I'm also worrying about is that, like, just recently it was on a forum that people were talking about that vulvar thing, and I'm like, because I noticed, irritation out there, and I went to, pediatrician. He's like, oh, that's a problem with every girl. But I kind of don't really look there. So I was just like, okay, let's see. And then I saw it, and I then Googled, what it is, and it looked really familiar. And it's kind of like, it's like a tissue deformation almost, like, and I'm worried about that. There's like a tissue damage there too. That's what I'm worried about too.
Oh, don't worry.
I just don't want to stop it. I don't want to, because some people say like you can put steroid there too.
It's an inflammatory condition. Let's get the inflammation down.
So I don't know if you've heard like of people, because I didn't even know it existed. Pediatrician thought like it was nothing, and so I was like, no one connected it. And then I was on this Hashimoto forum, and the people talked about it. I'm like, oh, let me Google what it is, and like, oh, the picture looks exactly what I saw. And
it's
so like
the vaginal anal area has inflammatory skin reactions.
Yeah, but then like it seems like it's just very like soft tissue there, and it's kind of like disappearing almost. Like I just, I don't know. Do you have experience with patients doing that, or like having that? Hasn't come up that often, but it's under
it's very rare.
It's under the Yeah, it is under autoimmunity.
It's autoimmunity and inflammatory.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to change her microbiome or health, physiology, the triggers.
Yeah. Okay.
So the way you would approach it anyways wouldn't be any different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like anything that I feel like a tissue damage just scares me, because that, like, how can we rebuild this, you know, after that?
Cells do divide and regenerate.
Okay. Thank you.
Mom, didn't you know that cells regenerate?
Neuroplasticity, right?
Yeah.
In your brain. Yeah.
Anything else? Are there any other questions?
Like mitochondrial issues, like mito support or anything like that.
Waste your time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
That's not the mechanism.
Yeah. Also, like, her pediatrician wanted her to be on, like, chlorophyll pills for, like, constipation. I know, like, it brings oxygen to the gut. Do you think that might be a good idea or not?
It's not gonna hurt, but I don't know, like, how many supplements you want to give you. What's the big deal? Like,
No, I bought it, but it's standing there and I'm, like, looking at it, and really,
okay.
I don't have time for all those supplements. I just give her what I think it's, like, the best now, but I've been, like, you know, people are just, take this, you know.
Really, Mom? Something for plant cells in me?
Well, we eat anything you eat, like vegetables and plants. So.
Yeah. Well, chlorophyll
And
is something that brings in sun. So do I have to, like, be in more sun if I have chlorophyll pills?
No, but it could help you to be in the sun. Do you like the sun or no?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess the other thing is, like, the poop. It's a little light brown and a little bit ribbonish. You know, sometimes, like, I feel like it's a ribbon-like, and is that, like, a concern? I know it's, like, gallbladder.
It's all related to the motility.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't worry too much.
Okay.
Motility, you have to understand, also includes, like, gallbladder contractions and enzyme release and all those things.
Yeah.
By the way, all those are impacted by thyroid hormones.
Okay, so I think that's all my questions, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's kind of like everything you hear from the patients, but I think nothing will change. I think
So I can tell you, like, what clinical experience does with the practitioners is they just focus on the most important things.
Yeah.
They don't focus on everything.
Yeah. Because my brain is kind of scattered, but I think I need to, like, zoom in on
we
this.
have to focus on the, like, first 4 things we're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Once we get done, like, some days I write a summary report which include all these, but before we get done, I'll just make sure we know all the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, that's all we're going to do month to month, and then we'll adjust. Some things will come up. We'll make some changes.
Yeah.
We'll decide to test some things at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work through the process. The most vital, most important things you haven't done in your treatment plan. Like, when you read it, you're like, when I first read it, my first thought was actually you. So I'm like, okay, are you planning yourself for anything? And you shouldn't. But the second thing, I was like, okay, we have 381 pages here. Let's see what's been done. And, like, no, you don't have Lyme. No, you don't have mycotoxin toxicity. Wow, that's a lot of GI panels. Wow, this GI panel is never responding to anything. That's a lot of supplements for 12-year-old.
Also, I wanted to ask, like, it has, like, the what is it called? Like, the secretory AGI that's really low, and that was a concern. And they gave her that in pills to, like, raise it. And then all of a sudden, recently, it was, like, off the charts. So
it's inflammatory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, we did, and then every time we did it, they put her on, like, what is it called?
It doesn't matter.
Like, anyway, like, some sort of, like, a, you know, pathogen killer, like, herbal.
Yeah.
Which, you know, yeah.
You put a lot of time in it. You work really hard.
Yeah.
The lifestyle thing is actually harder to do, to start, and then it'll be easy.
Yeah, because
it'll have the biggest change.
I work sometimes like a crazy maniac, so it's kind of like a, you know.
You and your husband have to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, don't keep wasting money on labs. Don't keep wasting on supplements.
Yeah.
Don't keep wasting money on different opinions. Just focus on this first.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we'll see, like, once her blood sugar is stable, it's not fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
Once she's actually on thyroid hormones, once she's getting movement and activity and doing some balance, like some coordination stuff, where she is a month, 2 months, then we'll see kind of what's left over.
Mm-hmm. So, like, so it would be observations how she's doing.
We'll have to follow up with questionnaires. We'll follow up with some labs that were abnormal.
Okay.
And then we'll talk.
Okay.
So it'll be a combination of everything.
And so for the dietary change, like, will you be able to give me guidance, or should I just?
The
look
guidance?
for autoimmunity paleo diets and just follow books.
Okay, so let's make sure you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna do breakfast is gonna be like dinner is fine, meat and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast is gonna be like that. Lunch, do what you can because she's in school.
Yeah.
And then the snacks, you gotta add in fiber. You gotta figure out how to add fiber. If it's pickles, that's fine. If it's
Okay.
fermented food, that's great.
Yeah.
You gotta add in fiber, and stick with the guidelines on your kid.
And it's
The
not
biggest
like a
mistakes
powder.
you're having now is
Yeah.
it's not a powder, real food.
Yeah.
The
Could I
keywords
add
are
this, maybe
sure. I
because
don't
this is like fruit and fiber.
Okay. Yeah, if you need a snack, go ahead because we're gonna do an exam. We don't want you to blood sugar low.
You want to do a snack?
No, I need to go to
Okay.
the bathroom.
Okay,
That's
go to the
Okay.
bathroom.
The concepts are you have to have fiber and real food in the diet,
Mm-hmm.
and you have way too much gluten-free, refined
Yeah.
sugar, carbohydrates, carbs.
Yeah.
That's like not good for anyone.
Yeah. I mean, we cook real dinner though.
What's that?
We cook real dinners though.
Yeah, so use that for lunch, for breakfast. So now you get 2,
Yeah.
and then the snacks, just make them give them some fibery snacks like pickles and other things.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Start with that.
Okay.
Start with that, and we'll work through it because we'll walk through it as we communicate. 1 month maybe you got this certain better, better,
Mhm.
and then there's a few other things that kind of change, and she
Mhm.
might really like this one thing, doesn't like that. So it's a process.
Yeah.
We don't have to get it like perfect at once. We got to see what happens when you try to do some concepts and try to do some
Mhm.
things. What you're going to try to do is basically just have dinner be like breakfast, like we like dinner,
Mm-hmm.
which is like vegetables and fruits. I mean vegetables and veggies and meats. But
Mhm.
but the thought of like a chicken breast, some avocado, and then some berries would be a great breakfast for her.
Okay.
Would this
Okay.
be a great snack for her?
Okay.
That's easy to do. You can
Yeah.
cook chicken breast really quickly,
Yeah.
and just as quick as you can anything else.
Okay. Yeah.
And then berries are easy. Put some
Yeah.
avocado on top.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an hour.
Yeah. So no nightshades.
Yeah, stick with the Ogden paleo diet.
Okay.
Or stay away from like eggplant and tomatoes and seeds and
Potatoes.
nuts and potatoes. See how she does.
Seeds, nuts, beans, right?
And beans, lectins,
So
yeah.
no grains.
And stay away from the grains for a while.
Okay. So no rice, no nothing like
Just
that.
the
yeah.
veggies and
Okay.
yeah, or the paleo,
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have to get all at once.
Yeah.
Honestly, you just need focus. We'll focus you in. We'll like, whoosh.
Yeah.
But the diet will be one main thing. But so you're okay with that for now?
She made peace with it. We'll see how it goes. Might be a little bit whining, but we'll see.